Hey everyone, and welcome back to I May Destroy You podcast by The Verdict Sin. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about I May Destroy You, the series finale, episode 12, Ego, Death. Gary, what are your thoughts?
Oh, this episode fooled me. Fooled me real good. The beginning, I could have swore it was real. I'm like, no, they're going to kill this guy and they're going to destroy their own lives. But I love the way it turned out. Good episode.
I thought that as well. When it first started, I was like, oh no, like, what are you guys doing? Like, you know how you see someone about to, like, literally throw their life away? And I was just like, no, there's no way you can get away with this. It's because it wasn't even in, like, self-defense or anything like that. It was just, I was just very, very scared that...
I mean, it could have been self-defense.
It can't be self-defense if you drugged him and then beat him up and everything else.
Well, he did try to drug you.
That's true. That's true. But he didn't. But I was scared at that point. And then when it showed, okay, no, this is not real. But I will say I'm not going to say I didn't like the episode. But as usually I always say, oh, this is my favorite episode. I'm going to actually say this was probably my least favorite of the series.
Okay, and this was the season finale, right?
Yep, series finale.
Series finale. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but we'll talk about it. It's not saying I didn't completely like it. It's just that I guess I wanted closure, and usually shows give you that perfect ending. And it's like, oh, she got the guy. But in real life, that doesn't necessarily happen. And you do sometimes have to just move on and continue living your life, or she's going to obsess over it forever. So I guess I'm kind of bringing all the way talking about the end already. So, I mean, I guess it was realistic, but I kind of wanted closure. I wanted her to catch the guys. I wanted them to go to jail. That's what I wanted to happen. And then have her book, and then go have her closure. But
have her book.
Yeah.
Have her life. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into it. The first time we see it happening, it's, Bella. She sees Patrick. His real name is David, of course. And they steal his drug. I like how Theodore was down. She was like definitely an ally.
Oh, she was definitely an ally.
Yeah. Because she was doing all the stuff that you can actually go to jail for. Like, she was drugging him. Then when she was choking him later with Bella's
But they already know she about that life.
I was like, damn, this girl really about to go to jail helping Bella. And I was like, no. So Bella acts like she's drugged. They drug him. It's a whole affair. And then Bella says she wants to see his penis since he's seen hers. And
you know what? That's when I started to realize that maybe this was a fantasy. It wasn't real. When she was in the street playing with herself, jacking him off.
That's okay. I thought that's what she was doing. I'm like, am I tripping? Is this what she was doing? But I thought maybe I was tripping with that part. That maybe her hands looked like she was playing with herself. And so I was like, I thought I was tripping. The point where I thought it was definitely fake was when they were on the bus right home. I'm like, wait, where did her friends go? They left her on the bus and then she put them on her bed. I'm like, no, this is impossible. So that's when I was like, this is weird. This is not real.
Yeah, when she started playing with them, there were thoughts in my head to say, yeah, maybe this is not real at this point. But then when she started beating him up, I'm like, oh, shit, this may be real.
Yeah.
But I also made a comment while we were watching. And I said, if someone sat by and watched you do that, then that's not your real friend.
Mm-mm. Yeah, because Terry actually was standing by. I'm like, Terry was like frozen. Like, what the fuck?
She was looking scared. But me personally, I have stopped fights. I had to stop friends from fighting because they're beating another person up too bad. Like, oh, no, you know what? That's too much.
You have to catch a case.
That's too much. You got to stop now. I understand they did this to you or did that or they started it, but it's time for you to stop.
Right. All right. So then in the second try, we try again, and Bella wants to call the police, but then Terry's like, no, I have a plan. This is what we're going to do. And she says, I wish I had did things differently, but I'm here for you now. And she gives Bella drugs. So she gives Bella cocaine, and Bella's like desperate for her. Wants it bad, wants more.
Once more, she's back.
Yeah, she's crunk, and Terry's like, okay, but you gotta know how to act, drugged up. And in each time, I always thought, like, damn, they're letting him go super far. Like, the fact when it happened the first time, I was like, why is she letting him, like, take her panties off? Like, this is going too far in your little plan, the first time. And then even the second time, when he's literally about to rape her again, and then she turns around and says like, "Hey, David." I'm like, I was thinking too, like, this is going too far. Like, this is it's too far.
Let him get too far.
Yeah. But then this one was the one that I didn't like. This part, I was like, oh hell no, we are not about to see him turn into a victim himself. You know, he's crying, he's, you know, acting like someone, you know, you could tell someone might have did this to him. And maybe all these thoughts came to her head, like, why is he the way he is, or why he do the thing he did.
Well, he was saying the army messed him up.
Okay. Well, he was saying all the times he's raped. All the times he's raped people.
Right.
All the different ways he's raped people.
Oh, what she said, why should I be scared of you? Or what else have you done?
Yeah.
He said, oh, only rape.
Only rape. This type of rape, that type of rape. There was one rape, and I was like, what kind of rape is that? It was I forgot, I should have wrote it down, but I was like, what does that even mean? But I think it was corrective rape. It was
rape
something.
Is rape.
I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? And then when she was back at her house, I'm like, no. So I was just like, and he's crying, the police. And then, of course, when the police come and just drag him out, and then she's just there and starts writing, looking at her Post-it notes. I'm like, okay, good. That was fake too. And then, of course, by the time we got to the third fake one, I was like, okay, I know. Well, actually, I'm like, is this the real one? I couldn't tell.
So you didn't like the third one, or you didn't like the second one?
I didn't like the first or second one. I didn't like the first one because they were about to literally kill him and catch a case. I didn't like the second one because he was like here as the victim crying on her shoulder.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The first one was the bomb. Up until they got to the killing.
Yeah, well, up until
the bus ride and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that one.
I mean, I did enjoy it up until, I kind of enjoyed it, but the whole time I kept thinking, no, something's gonna go wrong. And then when Theodore put the needle on, I was like, what the hell? Like, this is just going wrong. And then even Terry was like, or somebody, one of them said, hey, your underwear's there. That can be evidence. I was like, see, it's backfiring on you.
Well, she said that. She said he has my underwear.
Yeah. So I guess there's little parts of each one I didn't like. And then with the third one being, well, okay, so actually the third one's a little bit different. Because this time we just see them go straight to the bathroom. And we do see Terry tell Bella about what happened to her in Italy. But I knew it was fake once again because Bella's opening those bathroom doors and there's like, I don't know what was going on. There was like, one had them as teenagers. One was like a lady maybe looking like she was hurt or I don't know, miscarriage or something. And then I think the third one, I can't remember the third one, but so I knew something was weird. Like it was not real, but it showed that Terry did tell Bella like, hey, something happened to me in Italy with that threesome. I may want to join your guys' group if Theodore's okay with it. Even though she talks shit about Theodore, but she's like, if she's okay with it, I want to join that group.
So do you think, well, you know what? She had to tell her for real. I was about to say, do you think she told Bella what happened in Italy? But she had to tell Bella if Bella's writing this in her book or trying to figure out, should this be part of her book?
Right. You're right. Yeah. And that's why I think maybe a little bit of each story was real. Like something of it was real. Maybe, I don't think they saw the guys. I don't know. But this time we see the bar's empty and Bella approaches David and she starts to have a drink with him and whispers something in his ear. And that's when I knew it was fake because I'm like, the bar is completely empty and it's just him and his friend, who Terry was like the real one this episode. Every scene she had to try to distract the friend. And I was thinking the friend needs to be, he's guilty too. He's just as guilty.
I think they were trying to I'm about to say subtract him. But yeah, they did kill the other guy. They subtracted the guy the other one. Right. But I think they tried to distract him because he was his lookout.
Yeah, no, of course.
Like they distracted him so he won't see them switch the drinks or see her throw the drink behind her back or whatever.
That was very funny. Every time she kept spitting the drink out and everything like that. That was funny. But then finally we see that she decides not to go back to the bar. And I thought something was going to happen, not like anything sexual, but I thought like a conversation was going to take place with her and Ben, because we remember Ben mentioned how he's lonely, or we saw that he was lonely a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
So I thought something was going to take place there, and it did look like they put up some plants and stuff like that. But who knows? Maybe their friendship is going to strengthen from this. Like, because instead of her always going out, she's like, yeah, let's stay home and hang out together.
Which I could dig it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to go out all the time. And I'm pretty sure the only reason she's going out now is because she wants to go to the bar. And now we find out why she's going back to the bar. And that's because what I said last week. Did I say that last week?
What?
That the perpetrator always go back.
Oh, go back and see crime, which is what her and Harry said. But in one of the little fake scenes, Bella was like, why do you think I keep going back here? And Terry's like, because I thought you were crazy. And Bella's like, no, I had a plan. And then the next one, Terry's like, well, what are you going to do? And then Bella's like, I don't know. She's like, well, why'd you keep coming back here? And Bella's like, because I'm crazy. And she's like, I thought you knew this. So it was funny how they switched it up. I mean, yeah. It was a cute little episode. It was just not like what I expected, I guess, which is probably why I'm like, I didn't like it.
But I mean, they're absolutely right. Like they say, criminals always return back. Well, they say killers always return back to the scene of the crime.
But we see that her book is ready, and she dedicated it to Terry, which I thought was very sweet.
It was.
And her book is titled January 22nd. And it's published independently, and I'm guessing January 22nd is the day that it happened. But I would like to know if January 22nd really has something to do with Michaela Cole's, like, is that the date that it really happened? Like, I wonder if she picked it just for the book, or the story, excuse me, or for the show story, whatever, or is that the date that it happened?
The date, yeah.
The real date, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that she kept it how she kept it, because maybe, like we said, this is based on, like, a true events.
Yeah. So
hopefully, well, not hopefully, but I'm glad she kept it like that. Kept it like maybe she didn't get closure.
Yeah, maybe she didn't. And that's maybe why she had to write her story, because she never got the closure. The people that did it to her never got found out, you know? And I liked it when... Which is sad. Yeah, which is very sad. And I liked it when Terry looked and she's like, you dedicated me? I thought you were going to dedicate it to Biagio, or whatever, Biagio, the Italy guy.
Oh.
Yeah, she clowned him on that one. That's funny. So, and then of course, the awesome, most wonderful thing of the episode was seeing Terry in her commercial. That was very, very cool.
That was dope.
Yeah.
I didn't think she would ever make it to the commercial.
I know.
I thought it was going to be the stage fright. I thought they were going to show the scene where action.
Right.
Terry just stand there.
Right. So good for her. So yeah, that was kind of a quick explanation of the episode. But I think it was just so much, but
it was so much in this episode, but it was so quick. It seemed so quick,
right?
So what didn't you? Well, you said what you didn't like about it, but you said you didn't like the episode, but this was your least favorite. So let's go over the things that you just didn't like, or they could have left out the episode.
The whole fake scenes, I didn't like that. I would have rather just like a straight up episode that showed, you know, how we ended last week. We were so excited, like, oh my gosh, she sees him. And then for that to be probably, I'm guessing, fake, I don't like it, because I was so excited for her to get the justice. And I guess I had in my mind, like, she would go and call the police, like she was in one part, and say, hey, like, I mean, I know they wouldn't just be able to walk in and arrest those guys, but maybe they'd be able to follow them, gather evidence, at least so they have suspects to start investigating. So... But then at the same time, it's like she knew his real name. Like, even though he kept calling himself Patrick, but then his name was clearly David. It's like, does she know who he is? Because she knew his real name. I think the
police called him David.
So then, is that the guy that the police actually went after and arrested?
I think when the police found the person, police said, hey, we found a guy, he's in custody, his name is David.
And he's been doing this type of stuff, yeah.
Right.
So is it they just didn't have... So they did have David at one point in their custody, but they just didn't have enough evidence on him.
Right.
It may have been the other guy, the black guy's DNA that they found. If he went after, you know... If
it could have been.
You know?
And that's what I was saying. I was saying maybe they both raped her. She only remembered the first person. But I didn't mind. Once I found out what was happening, I didn't mind the fake scenes. Well, they weren't really fake scenes. They were... endings to her book. So she went over one scenario and was like, you know what? I can't use this scenario. I don't want to kill anybody. went over to the next scenario. The third one was kind of confusing when she was the aggressor.
Yeah.
It was kind of confusing, like, how would that fit into your book?
Right.
And you see the guy dancing for a friend.
Yeah.
Which that was my part, man. That was funny.
And then even the second one, when she was on the drugs, she was like freaky. She's like, I'm a rock star, whatever she was saying. And he's like, what's your name? And she's like, I'm fucking. And I was like, dang.
Well, we saw her like that already. We saw her on the drugs and how wild she was acting, how they kept telling her to get off the stage.
Right. All right. Well, we do have an email today from Chantel.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, Chantel.
Hey, Chantel. Thanks for writing in. It's not actually for this episode. It's for last week's episode, which was very, very good. So we're going to real quickly discuss that. She has Kwame. First of all, Kwame's workout class is not for the weak. I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, they be sweating. They're
we found that out. Second episode.
Yeah. When he said, all right, that's a water break, I clutched my pearls. There's more after that. Ma'am, we need to be done. That workout was a mess, LOL. I love that Kwame is growing, that he is doing the work to recover from his trauma, that he is doing the work to right his wrongs and to mature.
Yeah.
I loved seeing him on a real date. I love seeing how he has changed during these episodes. P.S. Nicole, I haven't been on a date to an art gallery in years either. I gave Derek the side eye when that dawned on me. Yeah, I'm like looking at Gary and he's trying to blame COVID for that. But after COVID, I need a date to an art gallery. And it's like, I'm not even into like art like that, but it just seems like a nice date. It just seems something different, something new. I would like to experience
it. Does.
Yeah. And then walk around the city. I mean, we live in Atlanta. We don't live in Atlanta, but we need to go to the city, go to an art gallery. So, all right, Terry. Terry got the job. I was so happy for her. My sister is a professional actor, and I'm a former performer. So I've seen firsthand how stressful and sometimes disheartening the audition process can be. Her success really made me smile. And Terry has a new boo. Kai is super interesting. Oh, I didn't catch his name. I dig Terry's willingness to be open-minded surrounding Kai's identity. And I also like that Kai had no problem pointing out to Terry that she'd been played in Italy. He was able to put it together so quickly. And while I thought Terry always knew she'd been played by those two guys, it seems that conversation with Kai put it together for her in a way that confirmed things for her.
I don't know. I think it was already confirmed to her.
Yeah.
I think she already knew because Kai said, how long have you felt this way? He said something to let us know that he knew she knew.
Yeah. But I think, you hear it once and you know it, but it's like someone else kind of confirms it. It's no denying it. Like before she was able to deny it to herself, but now that she had that conversation and let someone else in on everything that happened, there's no denying it anymore. She's not able to like act like, oh, I'm not sure. No, you're sure. You know what happened.
Yeah, she was sure.
Yeah.
Did we see Kai in this episode?
Yes, he was there. Him and Theodore and Ben, like all of them were on the couch together, like super crowded. I'm like, I like on TV shows, they always do that where like a whole bunch of people are on one couch together sitting down. I'm like, how is that comfortable? Like, I don't care how many people can actually fit on this couch. Max 2 of us are sitting here. I need to stretch. I need to move. I need to put my feet up. But yeah, he was on the couch with them, all hooked up on Terry. So it was sweet.
So that's good. That's how they ended it.
Yes. So she got her boo. You know what? It happened so fast. So I don't know if Kwame was there. I'm assuming he was. And I just can't remember if Kwame was there with his date. But I'm just going to say yes, he was as well. All right, Bella. Oh, Bella. I love her, but she is not seeing her part in her lack of continued success. She wants to connect with Della so that Della can help her. She assumed that Della was a sister who was trying to make it work in publishing and that she had a magic bullet she could lend.
Right.
I was so irritated and couldn't stop cringing when she did the toilet video to reach out. I know. So we're in our 30s and I'm like, is that a thing? Is that like something these young people do? Because I didn't get the creativeness of doing the video on a toilet. It was
a shock factor. Okay. It's like you're going to really stand out. So many people probably reach out to this person every day, but they're not doing it like this.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, that would be like, I I don't got time for someone that eccentric. Like I rather not. So I probably would have ignored it, or I don't know. I don't think I would have.
I would have blocked it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's another crazy.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that in my life. My mind was screaming, stop debasing yourself. Stop using internet stunts. Stop looking for excuses and sit your narrow behind down and write.
Right.
Perhaps Della is on the other end of the success spectrum because she is actually writing.
Yep. Bella's not a writer. I guess the first episode was telling us this, that she did something on social media, on Twitter probably. Did they give the social media site?
I don't recall, but they said it was her second book. And I'm like, oh, her second book? And her first one was online PDF. And I'm like, well, was that a book or like an article?
Well, I think it was just on social media. You know how people do Twitter stories?
Yeah.
They say, oh, let me tell you what happened. And they start telling the story and you just so into it. And I think that's what Bella did. So Bella wasn't an author. She probably never tried to study her craft.
Right.
So, she has success online, and it's like a lot of kids these days. They get on Facebook, they get on Instagram, and they have success. In fact, we found out like last year that record labels, they're not even looking for talent no more. They looking with people with a lot of followers.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened when we first were introduced to Terry. It wasn't about like, can you act? It was like, how many followers do you have? And
right. I forgot about that.
Does that have anything to do with anything? So
because they figure that if you have a nice size following, you could promote and you could bring people to it. So it's not even about having talent these days.
Yeah, that's where the term influencer came from.
So they never actually asked Bella, is she an author? Can she write? They probably saw the success she had online, saw the followers she had, and said, hey, let's go ahead and sign her for a book because we know whatever she put out is going to sell.
Right.
But they just didn't know that maybe that's not her passion.
Yeah. And these influencers, they are influencing. I'll tell you, every time our kids, they always go, my YouTuber said this, my YouTuber said that. I'm like, what? Who references a YouTuber when you're talking? But that is the thing now.
They call it my
YouTuber. But now I sometimes find myself saying it. Oh, like my YouTuber, she shops here. And I'm like, why did I just say my YouTuber? So, all right, she continues. Then Bella went to visit Susie for a favor again. In the midst of their awkward conversation, Susie mentioned that she hadn't had a break in 8 years. She's been working, Bella. That's how she gotten where she is.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Meanwhile, Bella is there to ask for another favor on the merits of race. Cringe. I'm cringing even reading it again, just remembering how that went. But can't produce what she's been contracted to produce. Susie was done, and I don't blame her. Bella hasn't held up her end of the bargain. Yes, she experienced horrific trauma. The agents and publishers did all they could in their roles to help her and to work with her through that experience. But let's not forget that Mrs. Bella was already missing deadlines before she was raped. They paid for her to go to Italy twice to spark her creativity. She didn't write when she was there. She partied and chilled with Biago.
She bought drugs with that event.
And yeah, she brought drugs. Remember, she was even telling Terry that. Like, she's like, this is a courtesy of the publishing people. And it was like, know when you have a good thing, but don't take advantage of that good thing. Like, you had a good thing and you took advantage of it. And now you can't even continue having a good thing. You probably could have continued having those perks, you know?
Yeah, she would have met deadlines.
Yeah. Then when she got home, her agents contacted her and she realized like she needed to pull an all-nighter in order to give them the draft that was due. And she didn't even successfully pull the all-nighter. She went out to party. She took the advance that was part of her contract, allowed them to pay for her travel, and never gave them the product she was contractually obligated to produce.
Facts.
Yeah. Essentially, she stole Susie's money. She's lucky they just want her to pay it back and they aren't suing her for breach of contract. Dang, Chantel is spitting knowledge here. Yes, all this. Right. Okay, here we go. Zane is Della. I honestly did not see that coming. What do you guys think about Zane being the one who ultimately helps Bella get her thoughts in order? I don't know how I feel about it since it takes steps to redeem him, but I do love the symbolism of him being the one to take out all of the things Bella had hidden away under her bed. With that action, Bella got rid of all the garbage in her life, including him. Okay, so
that makes sense.
Yeah, before we continue,
Why don't you take out your trash?
Take out the trash.
And those bags too.
Right. And I mean, I felt a little way about him helping her, but ultimately it did help her. Like, because he's a writer. He knew exactly how to kind of like get it started and like how to organize your craft and everything like that.
I didn't feel a way about him helping her. I felt a way about the publishing company giving him a second chance.
Oh, definitely.
And giving him a new name.
Definitely.
And I felt a certain way about not only, the publishing company doing that a woman is over the publishing company.
Yes.
So you couldn't even stand with your sister, stand in sisterhood.
Right.
And I'm not saying your sister as she black or whatever, or she white or whatever. I'm just saying stand with another woman. You seen what happened to this woman, and you so desperate for money, so money hungry, that you're still gonna take him in, change his name. That's like somebody saying, Kelly, I know everything you did. We're gonna change your name to Big Kelly. Right. Or Kelly R.
Yeah.
You go by Kelly R now.
Or letting him maybe write songs and the people saying, okay, we can't put your name on this song, but you're going to get paid for it. Right. But we can't put your name on it.
And what would make it worse if it's a woman with a child giving him that second chance.
Right.
Like this, I don't know, man.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. I mean, I always feel like it hurts just a little bit more when you do see like women not sticking up for women, even going further with race, black women bashing other black women. It's like, first of all, just taking women of all races together, we have to fight so much harder. We have to work so much harder. We should always be standing up for one another. Then to go even, yes, a little bit farther or a little bit closer, however, when it's a black woman and you bashing another black woman, like, keep that shit to yourself. Even if they did you something that you may disagree with or that you're like, side eye, don't publicly bash them. Don't publicly shame them. Like, I'm thinking of the whole stuff that's going on with Meg Thee Stallion, and it's like just hearing all these negative things. I'm like, really? We complain so much of how the man, quote unquote, is disrespectful to us. But then if we are disrespectful to our own brothers and sisters, or just women bashing other women, it's really real. I look at you more sideways than I do, quote unquote, the man, because it's like, damn, really? You know how it is first and foremost. So
yeah.
All right. So she has a little bit more, which will continue. Okay. She says she was able to toss everything that she'd been hiding, avoiding all these years. She is able to think clearly and create again. This made me think maybe the rape wasn't really when she started to unravel. Remember, she wasn't writing like she should have been before then. Maybe it was simply the straw that broke the camel's back. Throughout the series, we have seen that Bella has avoided and buried things throughout her life. I think that as those things piled up, both in her mind and under her bed, they began to clog her creativity and stunt her emotionally. With the garbage gone, her creativity started to flow again. She started to really feel things again and started to understand herself. I think that level of clarity is what allowed her to finally see what happened to her that night. And holy shit. I didn't really have much to say about that because it was so awful and heartbreaking. The way she was treated like garbage, basically. Awful. I hope those fuckers go down for that. I hope this final episode is all about people getting their comeuppance. Big time. Thank you both for covering the show. It was amazing. I hope to writing for the final episode. Oh no, sorry. But thank you for writing them for this one. This one was still good and relevant to the series finale.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, Chantel.
Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately we did not get to see Justice, but
well, it was already said in the last episode when the girl said it to Kwame.
Oh yeah. That predators and whatever she said, they never get their justice.
Right.
And hopefully Kwame won't do it again because people usually do. So yeah, I think maybe that was the tell.
And it came back around full circle.
Yeah.
Because she said it, and I think she said it for a reason. And I think this season end or the series ended like this for a reason.
Yeah.
But I think there's still so much to tell on the story. So I hope this is not the end of the series. I hope they see their ratings, see what people are saying about it, and they continue it.
Yeah, I mean, if they continue, it'd be kind of a different show, because at this point, I don't think they would still focus on the rape. I think they may just focus on like their lives and moving around. But at the same time, I'm okay with the ending here. I don't think I need any more.
Well, there's so much more they could touch on. Like, we found out so many different type of rapes this season.
Yes.
So many things that could be considered. I knew a lot of these things were wrong, but a lot of things that you can consider, like, yeah, this is assault, this is sexual assault, stuff like that.
Right.
But with a name like I May Destroy You, there's so many other directions you could go with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we do that we don't know cause harm to people.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about rape. I'm just talking about your everyday life things where you can say things that can, somebody can hold deep inside them forever because you hurt them with those words or with those actions.
Right. Or how lies can end up ruining people's lives. They touched on so many things throughout these 12 episodes. We've seen rape. We've seen two rapes. We've seen, or 3 rapes, technically. We've seen someone get, I forgot what the word is, raped by misconception or whatever. We've seen someone almost go to jail for not a rape, a young man's life.
Right.
So we just seen so much, and then we've seen how people were raised, how their family dynamics, how that can change a person, lies they have told, lies they've been told to tell, all of that. So I feel like they've addressed so much, and I think what they did is important because it started a subject, it started a topic. They even
started a dialogue.
Yeah. They even touched on transgender. They touched on homophobia and different things like that. So, I think I'm okay with it ending here because I felt like it was enough. I would like to, of course, continue seeing the entire cast on other projects and looking forward to their work and looking forward to seeing Terry and Kwame and Bella. Like, I just love the whole cast. Even Ben. Would love to see Ben. And actually Simon. I know I was talking shit about Simon, but I would like to see him too. So yeah.
So I guess that's where we both stand. You're okay with the ending here, and I want more.
Yeah.
Give me more.
I'm good with this.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening all season long. We greatly appreciate it. As you know, or hopefully you know, we are covering Lovecraft Country on the same feed. So be sure to hit us up if you'd like to be part of the podcast. Host at theverdictsin.com or on Twitter at theverdictsin or facebook.com/verdictsin, and we will discuss it on the podcast. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.